Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for listening to my book club video. One of the books I've quite enjoyed this year is The Way of Miracles, written by Mark Mincolla, PhD. Mark is a MD. Is he an MD also? MD, PhD, I think so. Healthcare practitioner who's transformed the lives of thousands of people over the past 30 years in innovative electromagnetic muscle testing system, EMT, which integrates ancient Chinese energy techniques with cutting-edge nutritional science. I will read you something from page 49 to get a feeling for this book in case you would love to read it. Superconsciousness represents a quantum leap in the direction of enlightenment. But it's important to be aware that sometimes insight can be accompanied by intense anguish. Discomfort often accompanies the dismantling of an accepted perception. The shift in perception of a previous truth into a deeper identity of it generally is uncomfortable. That serves a greater purpose, though, as it permits us to restructure our conscious intent and identity. A noted spiritual teacher, Adyashanti, perhaps put it best when he said, quote, "Make no mistake about it, enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or becoming more or less happy. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagined to be true." End quote. That makes me think about paradigms. And paradigms are just a group of thoughts and beliefs, a loop that we've been living in that we think is real, that we think is true. And when you start to change your life, when you start to go toward a dream life that you would love to have, a goal that you would like to attain, paradigms come up and they stop us. They try to keep us safe by keeping us where we are now, in the familiar. And it's uncomfortable when those come up because there's a part of you that wants to move towards your dream, and there's a part of you that wants to stay the same. And you can imagine, like my mentor Mary Morrissey explains it, you can imagine that there's two sides of your body, and then right down the middle of it is source energy, or the universal life force, your connection to the everything, the quantum field. So this part, the paradigm, keeping you here. This part, your beautiful dream life, that thing that you would like to accomplish, the healing that you'd like to have. And here, this comes down. The energy of the everything comes down into us so that we can move toward our goals. And we can lovingly look at our paradigms and figure out techniques that work for us to dismantle those, to break those up. And that's exactly what Mark is talking about in this book when he says it might be accompanied by intense anguish, because sometimes we say in the teaching that I learned with Mary Morrissey, we get distracted, we get dissuaded, or we go into DEFCON 1. And that's a military term for, yeah, you're going to hit the button on the big bomb, right? So sometimes people get so disturbed and, first of all, sometimes you're just like, I think I should dust. Oh, that book's out of the wrong place. Let me straighten that up. Or there's laundry to do, there's dishes to do. That's real easy to do. And dissuasion is, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not old enough. I'm not young enough. You loop thoughts of what you're thinking. And then the DEFCON 1 is maybe you would even feel sick. You might be so frightened you don't know what to do. All those things are good news, right? Because you're shaking yourself out of this false reality that you've been in to move up to a higher level of living and being. So I invite you to read this book, The Way of Miracles, if you would like to access your superconsciousness. It's a fun book, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Bye for now.